Hi everyone, say hello down below, comment in the comment section, let us know that you're watching. And today we're going to talk about watering. So we have 3 tips on how to water. And if I start getting into detail, it's because I'm passionate about watering. It's what I do. That's my main job in the greenhouses, and that's where people really get tripped up is with watering. And you have to be a detail person when it comes to watering. So that's why I'm usually the one watering. Not that Amy can't water or one of our employees can't water. It's just that I'm a detail person when it comes to watering, and that makes all the difference in the world when you go to these little pop-up greenhouses or the big box retailer greenhouses, and they've got some 17-year-old kid watering, and that's why the stuff looks like it does, because they're not paying attention to the details. You have to have watering done correctly. So that's the topic of today, and it's going back to the basics and getting a handle on that watering and doing it correctly, because so many people do not do it correctly, and that's why their flowers struggle every year. So if you're struggling with your flowers, hang on, take a seat. Let us know if you've struggled in the past with watering, or if your flowers just aren't looking like they should. That's why we're here. We want you to learn, and we know that people are watching not only locally but all across the world, and we're here to help you have beautiful plants and flowers this year. So I hope you're willing to learn, that you're a willing student, and then we can pass on some knowledge. So sometimes doing that is forgetting what you know, because a lot of you got bad advice, and I'm sorry about that, but there's people out there that give terrible advice. They think they know what they're talking about, and they don't. So you might have to just scrub everything that especially if your flowers have trouble every year. You might have to scrub everything and go back to the basics and learn with us. So that's what we want to do, is we want to help you. So comment below. Let us know if you've had trouble with your flowers, if they just don't look like they should. If your neighbors are not walking up to you and saying, hey, your flowers are awesome. That's just amazing. If you're not having that experience, hang on, let's try to dig into this and find out why. So today we're talking about watering, and I'm going to give you 3 tips on watering. So the first one is watering in the morning. That is best. And we get that question a lot, because a lot of people will, they work and they leave in the morning. Maybe it's really early. And, if that's you have to do what works for you, but you have to do what works for your flowers too. So watering in the morning is best, but I understand that 100% of you can't do that. So we water in our greenhouses in the morning. Now I might have to, as it gets warmer, you have a hot day and it's 120 degrees in here. Yeah, I'm going to be watering in the afternoon, or it might even be at night. I might have to, but preferably it's in the morning. And the reason is the flowers have time to dry down throughout the day. So what happens if you water at night is they will sit wet. And if you're in upper Midwest like we are, they're not only sitting wet all night long, but they're sitting cold, because our nights are, unfortunately, we do not have nights like a lot of you that live in the South. Our nights are not 70 or 80 degrees. They're 40 and 50 degrees, even in the summer sometimes. So those plants are sitting cold and wet all night long, and that's where you get root rot. Those roots will rot down eventually. So it's best if you can water in the morning. Some of you might have to get up a little bit earlier and water in the morning, and take a look at what's the day going to do. Is it going to rain? Is it going to be cool out? Or is it going to be hot and sunny? So you have a little plan of what you're doing in the morning, and that kind of gives you a plan for going about the day. So water in the morning. I know a lot of you will, work all day long, come home 5 o'clock, have supper, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever that is, and then you go out and water. And generally speaking, that's a bad habit, because those plants and flowers will sit cold and wet all night long. So it's best to water in the morning. Tip number 2. And I know this is contrary to what so many of you have learned, but I promise you, don't do this. Okay, you'll have different results. If you water this hanging basket until it drips out, that is a bad habit. I don't care who told you to do that. Don't do it. It's not correct. It is a recipe for disaster eventually. And here's the reason why. If I'm watering this until it pours out the bottom, that's too much. Okay. Now, if I do that every single day, day in, day out, day in, day out, what happens if you overeat every single day? If you eat until you're ready to barf every single day? I know that's a very vile example, but sometimes I need to get somebody's attention and say, stop doing this. It's bad. It's a bad habit. So do not water a hanging basket or a container until it runs out the bottom. It's too much. And when you add that up day after day after day after day after day, it's going to sting you. So, again, think of, were my flowers beautiful? Were they absolutely stunning? And if you answer no, stop doing what you're doing, because that's wrong. So a lot of you are doing that. You're watering a hanging basket or a container until it drips out the bottom because you got bad advice. You don't want to do that. Now, if it happens once in a while, I'm not talking about that. That's fine. But what I'm talking is that day in, day out, bad habit of overwatering. It's gonna sting you. And again, those roots will rot because they're too wet every single day. And it's, all of a sudden, boom, my plant just died. It didn't just die. It was dying over the last 30 days or the last 60 days because you were overwatering. And overwatering will kill your plants, just like not watering them at all. We have to be somewhere in the middle. So that leads into my third watering tip. And I know a lot of you are going to ask, okay, so if I can't water until it drips and runs out, then how much water do I give it? You're not going to like the answer, but it's the correct answer, okay? And the correct answer is whatever it takes, okay? So 24-hour mentality. That's what I want you to think about when you're watering this whole season, this whole growing season, this summer. You're going to use the 24-hour mentality. And that mentality is, I'm giving this container, this hanging basket, this potted plant, whatever, I'm giving this container whatever it needs to last for 24 hours. Okay? I'm not watering this for the week. A lot of you do that. A lot of you will try to water it for the month. Doesn't work that way. And I can prove it to you. Your flowers will be dead. Just like you would be dead if, I'm going to go to the buffet and I'm going to eat for the month. Doesn't work that way. Okay. We can try. It still does not work that way. You cannot eat for the month and then just not be hungry for the next 30 days. It doesn't work like that for your body. And it doesn't work like that for a live plant. So, 24-hour mentality. If somebody is telling you, give your hanging basket 1 quart or 2 liters every single day, they're wrong. Unless your weather never changes. Okay. Now, so that might be correct for that day, that amount, but our weather changes all the time. I mean, especially in northern Wisconsin, you might get a suntan and you might have snow that night. So, for us especially, we have to just be hanging on to that weather pattern because it's changing constantly. Yeah, a lot of you have, it's 75 degrees and sunny day in, day out. I would love that. But for the rest of us, that's not reality. So the weather changes, therefore your watering habit has to change, and it has to change with this plant needs just what it needs for 24 hours, and that's really all the further you're thinking. So try to get into that detail of, I'm going to give this plant what it needs for 24 hours. I'm going to water it. It's not going to come dripping out, but it's going to be well saturated and have enough moisture for 24 hours. So that's what I want you really to think about this year. And we have a lot of watering videos. So this is just kind of glancing over this and giving you just the 3 tips. But if you go to our YouTube channel, So if you're at our YouTube channel, go to our playlist. We have a whole watering playlist, and all of our watering videos are in one category. So you can find all those watering videos there. And then I talk much more extensively about each piece of advice like that. So details matter. And we have beautiful flowers because we're into the details of good soil, good watering habits, and good fertilizer. So, that's always going back to the basics. And when we can get those three things right on track, you're going to have beautiful flowers. So, those three things matter, and it's all in the details. So thanks for watching. We're going to be talking about basics a lot this week. And, I hope you will take this advice to heart. And, if you're having trouble with your plants and flowers, try something new. Don't keep doing the same thing that does not work. If you have said the same thing for 10 years, they're like, oh, my flowers, I just don't have a green thumb. You don't understand. I have a brown thumb, but I'm going to spend $300 on flowers and hanging baskets, and they're going to be dead in a week. Don't do that. You have to change your habits. And when you change your habits, and we've helped a lot of customers and people change their habits, and they come back to us the next year and they're like, our flowers were amazing because we took those little pieces of advice and implemented them and had success. So comment below. Let us know if you've been watching and liking our videos, and also be sure to go to our beatyourneighbor.com website, and we have some blog articles there. And of course, go to our YouTube channel, and we have literally hundreds of how-to videos there. So hang on and keep watching these live videos. Let us know if you like the live version of our videos, and we will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.